Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we are able to hear you. Please start the session as soon as
Okay.
possible.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. Sorry for that was a technical glitch actually. So sorry for that. So today we'll start the session today. So yes. So today in this session we'll discuss about a few things about we in the last session maybe we discussed about how we can install Python. Right? We can install Jupyter or what are the different environments possible environments present in Python or we can use Python. There is a lot of environments are there where you can use Python tools, right? And guys, if you have any issue with this sound and all, just you can ping me, no issues, okay? So I guess I want your confirmation that everything is fine. You can hear. Yes, please confirm me. Okay. So I got many confirmations. Yeah, and I apologize because of the delay. Okay, we'll start now. So let me share my screen before starting the session. Let's just simply do a recap like what we did in the last session. So we actually try to install that Jupyter notebook or Anaconda. Anaconda is a package of environments. Okay. So now there are a lot of environments has been built or for different languages. So whereas when we install Python, so Python can be installed from if you want the Python programming language, Python can be installed from python.org site. Uh, so we can just simply install the latest version. So more than 3.9 versions came now. So previously we used to work in two versions. So there are a lot of versions being introduced, and lot of version will bring a lot of features, new features. So we will see on these things, slowly we'll see these things. What are the new different features? What are the new things included? And we'll get to see the updates and all as well. Okay. So when we talk about Python, so there are a lot of questions arises. Right? What is Python? Why Python? And what are the different features, different paradigms, different things out of interpreter, compiler, object-oriented, procedural. So definitely we'll try to discuss these things today. And before that, let's try to check about this one called Jupyter Notebook. So Jupyter Notebook is an environment which is not only specifically built for Python, because Jupyter can support many languages, more than 30 programming languages. So we can write R language, C language, Python. So Jupyter Notebook. So what we need to do is that we need to install Python. We can go to anaconda.org site. Anaconda.org is again the package of environments. So if you open that anaconda.org site, you can just simply go to anaconda.org site and you'll see at the top, top bar, you can see the download option. So you don't need to do any sign in, just simply click on that. And we have seen these things in the last class, I guess. And if you have still any problems, so I'll definitely gonna share my screen regarding that. Let me show my screen here. Yes, cannot share. So yes. So now I will just simply. So can you see my screen now? Yes. Okay. So now what we need to do is that we can just simply go to. Okay, I'm again writing the same thing. Python.org site. If you want the Python programming language. Okay. Don't though we are not talking about any environments. I'm just simply talking about the Python language. What does the language look like? What this language will bring. So this is the python.org site. You can just simply go to this download section, and you can see there are a few things like all releases, source code, Windows, Mac OS, other platforms, and see this latest version which is coming is 3.10.1. So this is the latest version. So you can still download, just click on it, and it might take a few minutes, and maybe it will take, it will ask you to if you want to download in a specific path, you can also provide that path. Otherwise, nothing is required. Just simply click on this language, download for Windows, and if you want to specify, like especially if you want to download any versions like for 64-bit and 32-bit, you just simply scroll down, and you will get to see about other options as well. Whereas we can just simply download now. As of now, we can simply download for Windows. Maybe most of the people are using Windows, but many people are also using Mac and other. So you can also download for that. So it means again. Okay, when we'll discuss about the Python. Okay, let me tell you one thing. When we discuss about Python, it will raise many questions, few comparisons. Okay, so don't worry, we'll like slowly and steadily we'll try to get back into all these small details about these things. So one small details I can easily show you that if this Python can be downloaded for Windows, Mac, and other platform also. So it means Python can run across any OS, right? There is also one more features in Python. Yes, we can download for Windows, and the same page we can also download for the Mac. Yes. So next. Okay. So next one, and if I just simply go back, and I will try to go to the anaconda.org site. So next time I'll go to this packages. Now for language, once this language will be installed, I can go to this packages. So I can go to anaconda.org, this site. So in this anaconda.org, so you will get to see this site, download anaconda option. So download anaconda option is there. Just simply click on it. It might redirect to this. If you go to scroll down, you'll get to see here. So you don't need to do any sign in or any. If you want, you can also do. But if you don't want to do, that is also fine. Just skip this process, and you can just simply download very easy steps. So nothing, behind these things, downloading these things. If you just simply click on download Anaconda, so it will come to this page like download Anaconda individuals. So here you can just simply go down. Download option is there for Windows, like iOS, Linux. So you can just simply click on it. While clicking, maybe it will also ask you one more time for about giving the password. Giving some authentication kind of thing, like login or something. But don't worry if you can also skip that pass. So once it is downloaded, just simply just simply click on the executive file and just simply install the Anaconda. So once it is installed, so there are a few things again. Once it get installed, you'll definitely can find it. All the environments, everything. So the packages. So there are many packages it will be, but we will be interested on one package, one environment, which is called the Jupyter Notebook. So if now I'll try to open my Jupyter Notebook. So once this Anaconda packages get installed, you can just simply go to your search bar and just simply type about Jupyter Notebook. So there are many things also will also get installed, like Anaconda Navigator, Anaconda Prompt. So we will discuss these things because there's a lot of things to explain, right? So one by one we will try to cover all these things. Like what is first is the Anaconda Navigator. If you open this Anaconda Navigator app, you will get to see all the packages, environments. Package of environments. Environments means where we will try to write our codings. Anaconda prompt where we can also is like a command prompt where we can also like virtually create our environments. We can also create a virtual environment there for our projects, maybe for our isolation of codes. We can isolate codes from there. So many things we can do from there. So next, so once this Jupyter notebook will get hosted. So Jupyter is a first of all Jupyter notebook is an application which is web based. Okay, it will always open in your browser. Now, when we click on the Jupyter notebook, launch the Jupyter notebook, so it will always first of all the file after opening it will open a command prompt kind of. So it is like simply host host the file, and hosting will be done automatically in our local system. Okay, in our local browser, whatever your default browser, if your default browser is Chrome, or if your default browser is any other like so whatever the default browser, it will open in your browser. So once this Jupyter notebook will open in the browser, so it will always be named as untitled. Okay, one untitled notebook will open, and it will open in. Okay, just like I just simply hosted this Jupyter application notebook application, and it will see this sort of things. So it will just simply create a local host like local double 8, and this will run in my browser. Okay. So whereas hosting websites and all, we have all sort of things like frameworks and all these things are different. But this is a local application which will open in our local, creating a local host, and we can access this notebook via browser. But no internet connection is required. Okay. So no internet connection is required, like until and unless you are connecting it to any server. But we are not connecting it to any server, so it will open without internet connection. But whenever it can be accessed through internet, the notebook can be accessed through internet if you have connected with some browser. Okay. So yes, so there are many questions people ask, like do we need to do this for we're going work with Jupyter? So do we need to do this, or are we going to work within Jupyter? So we are trying to will automatically my preferences would be with Jupyter. So I'll prefer Jupyter notebook. So there is another notebook as well if you want to work on like which is called an PyCharm. So there are many people also prefers to work in PyCharm. So you can also go to the PyCharm if you want to, if this Python is installed, you can just simply go to the PyCharm downloads part in your browser, and the website which is created by JetBrains, so who are the community or developers of PyCharm. You can just simply go to the JetBrains site. I'll show you here. So you just simply click on this download Python. So don't worry. So there are many environments are there. There are many things are there, but we should know about these things. So if you click on this PyCharm download, so the first link which is coming from jetbrains.com. So they are the main they are the main creators of this Python IDE. So IDE stands for this integrated development environment. So just simply click on it, and you will just very simply, within a simple step, you can just simply download this environment as well. So definitely for free and open source, there are many questions like free or open source. So you can also go back to these things. So what we actually why? So what exactly we know why it is required, or why Anaconda is so much popular? Because it will bring you the interfaces. It will simply bring you the environments. Okay, might be sometimes we'll be working on different environments. Okay, might be there's based on some client's requirement. Maybe you know there are maybe some client requirement will come which is based on this environment, or maybe it will require some very simple looking environment. Maybe it will be maybe through server connection. Then you can go for Jupyter Notebook, or maybe simple code. You can also go for like Spider or something. So there are why that is why we need the package of environment. That is why this Anaconda is famous for, because in under one roof, under one umbrella, you're getting all the environments getting installed, and whichever is required, you can just simply go in and launch. So somebody is asking why is Python preferred over C++ or other programming language? Okay, I'm coming back to that. Okay, no issues. So PyCharm Professional is also available in Anaconda. So okay, don't worry. So okay, let's see some of the key features of this Jupyter notebook. Let me open a Jupyter notebook. So when we just simply go to my okay, I don't want to do anything. Just simply go to your type in your search bar about Jupyter notebook, and it will just simply show you this one, Jupyter notebook. So click on it. So first of all, this will open. So it will create the local host, and then automatically. So you don't need to do anything. You don't need to click also. Sometimes if it is not opening, just simply copy this URL and paste it in your browser. That will also work. But in most of the cases, it is not required to copy or anything. Just automatically, once this host is created, it will just simply open in your browser. So in my case, my browser is Chrome. So it is opening in my Chrome, just like this. So by creating this home page, okay. So this is for localhost 8888 / this. So once it is open, so it will show me around like whatever the files and all the things that I have created through Jupyter Notebook. So it will give me this page. This is the first page. So you can see this is why in my desktop, this is my desktop, context, documents, whatever is present in my machine, it's automatically showing desktop. So and then documents, downloads, whereas other like things are also showing. So this is the root environment in my machine is showing here. So this is the path here. So whatever the files are present here, it is simply showing. This is the root, you can say. So if I want to work on in my download, or if I want to create a file in desktop, I can just simply go and click on desktop and create a file. If I want to create a file in my documents, I can click onto documents folder and just simply create a file, downloads as well. Whereas it is not showing the C and D other drives, because it is just simply showing the root folders in the root part, the root part where it is installed. So whenever while installing this Anaconda packages, definitely it will automatically open download it in your root folder, right? Wherever C program files, everywhere it's located. Every file, everything will be downloaded at that particular address, or at that particular whatever you can say root or path. So once that is why it is not showing in my other component of my machine, which is which is D drive, E drive, or any other drives in my computer. But I can also launch the files from other drives by using an upload button. So let me show you this. Just simply showing my moving my cursor here. You can see there is an upload button here, and there is a new button here, a refresh button here, log out, quit, everything is there. So whenever the selected items files is showing, running file it is showing. There are no terminal running nowadays. Like recently, there is no notebook running recently. So it will get all the informations which file is running. First one is the file part. The files part, you will get to see all the files of your that root folder, right, where it is installed, and it's showing all the desktop downloads. Everything is showing. Okay, all the files. I can go and click on any folder and create files there. Next is for running. This in this running part, it just simply terminals are all terminals are running, notebooks are running, clusters. So closer cluster tab is now provided by IPython parallel. See IPython parallel for installation detail. So this is a new thing which is coming here. So we will not go into it right now. So maybe later. Our first major part is to just simply create a file and start with the hello world, right? And check out the running files and all these things. Clusters and all these things we'll go into maybe later on. Okay. So next is on the right hand side, you can see there is some quit and logout button. So as you know about quit and logout. And next is whenever the folders is showing, it is showing the name, last modified, file size. Okay, now if you can see some of the folders I have opened maybe a year ago, 8 months ago, 28 minutes ago. Okay, very fresh. Okay, last modified details, file size it will also show. But if I okay now next thing is the two button here, new and upload. So now when I want to create a new file, I want to write some code. I want to write some code so that I need a file. So how can I create a file? So let me choose a very simple location like desktop so that I can show you very easily. So I will click on desktop. So these are the different folders in my desktop. So like there are different files, folders. So if I want to create a new file, I can just simply go to the click on this new button. New button. So click on this new button and it will just simply ask you to create a notebook. So Python 3. So create a new notebook with Python 3. Okay, text file folder terminal we will not using right now because as of now our main agenda is to know about Python. To start with the ABCD with the Python, ABCD of Python. So I'll just simply click on Python 3. So you can see automatically a new notebook which is opening in the browser, and the location I have passed it to called desktop. So in my desktop, you can see in my desktop, I just simply click on the desktop button and it will show all the files folders present in my desktop, and I just simply click on new. So if I click on new, so automatically it will ask you to create a file in Python 3 because it will just simply ask you the version there, because automatically if it is 2 version, which is nobody's using nowadays, so definitely you will also always get this Python 3 here, because previously we used to have 2 versions like 2 and 3 versions. So it will ask you to create at that time, again I'm saying about maybe 4-5 years ago. So when many companies are preferred Python 2. So we'll discuss about that versions also, no issues. What are different versions available in Python? What are different things? Different things. Okay. Next. So this is the file look like. This is the file look like, and you can see this file is a very good looking notebook. Maybe you will not get any other better environment than this while for coding, because if you see this like the environment in C or Java, maybe it will look like a very complicated way. But this is the very simple and easy way to write coding. So what exactly we need to do here is just simply, if you want to change the name here, so let's say just simply click on this untitled one. So I have just simply opened a file. So it is just simply giving the name as untitled one. Click on it. You can change the name. Enter a new notebook name. Okay. So I can, let's say, given day one. So day one. Rename it. And when I'll definitely see in my desktop, you will get to see this day one file will be this day one file is created, right? So you cannot open this file by clicking or double clicking or right clicking. You cannot open this file. What this file is, because this file has been created through Jupyter Notebook, so it can be only accessed through Jupyter Notebook. So you have to launch the Jupyter Notebook. You have to go to desktop, and you have to click on day one. In that way, you can only open. Otherwise, you cannot open. So when if I go back to my desktop, you'll also see here day one dot ipyname. So a Jupyter notebook will always have a .ipynb extension. Now, whenever we have a file should always have an extension like .csv, .xls, something, any file extension, maybe .json. So this Jupyter notebooks will always have this extension, which is called IPython notebook, IPYNB, IPython notebook. So it can be only accessed through Jupyter. So next time, if I want to see this file, whatever I have written there, I have to launch Jupyter Notebook. I have to go to desktop. I have to click on this file, and then I can able to access or write code. Now you can see there are a few things which is showing in this Jupyter notebook. There are a few lines of code which are called cells, one cells. We can create and write codes. And this inside this file button. Okay, let me show you these icons here. This is the file button. Inside this file button, you can see new notebook option, open option, make a copy, save as, rename also option is there. Even though I have just simply rename it by just clicking on the file name, right? But still you have the option here, rename, save and checkpoint, revert checkpoint, print preview. Okay, download as. Now you can also download this file, whatever you have written here, whatever code I have written here, I can download it by many formats. There is also a very interesting feature here. You can also download it by .py file. .py is a Python extension. HTML, Reveal, JS slides, Markdown, LaTeX, PDF. So these are very interesting features of the Jupyter Notebook. So once you can create it, I can also download it as a PDF. So next is some edit option is there. So there are some cells. You can see the cells are nothing but the lines. So it is just this Jupyter Notebook will give you the option to write line by line codes in a different cells. So these cells we can do a lot of things like cut cells, copy cells, delete cells. We'll be using those sort of things very often. Split cells, merge cell above, below, move cell up, down, and some of the features are also there in as a icon here. Like you can see view, cell toolbar, different views are possible. Insert option is there, cell above, below. Cell option in the cell option you will also have the run cell. So if you want to run the particular code, you can also run this, run all above, run all below. Cell type also there. There are different cell types are there. Code, markdown. Okay. Let's say for example, okay, this button also represents the same thing. Like you can see this file section has save and checkpoint. If you want to save this file, you can go and click on this button. Okay, 1 second. Okay, somebody. Okay, let me ask. Okay, after installing Anaconda, please enter Anaconda under Windows search bar and open. You opened. Okay, so next, okay. Let me see this plus button is nothing but to get a new cell. So this is only one cell is showing, right? I can just simply click on more cells. If you click on plus button, it will just go and create many cells. 1 second. It will create many cells. Okay. So next is the cut button. Okay, now you can see the scissor option. You can also cut down. You can also cell copy paste. You can move a cell up and down. Okay, let me write down something in the cell. Okay. Now maybe many people are not familiar with languages. So I will go to the Python language after these things. After I explain about these features of this Jupyter notebook. Let me write down something. Okay. Let me write down my name. Okay. So you can see I have written my name, right? Okay. Now I can also move up and down this one, right, by using these buttons. So this up to this I have done up to this up and down. Next is a run button. Okay. Now what will happen if I run this particular line? Can I write my name in the programming language? Will this language will understand these things? Okay, one more thing I want to say, based on the computer configuration, so this will a bit difference will be there. So don't worry if you're getting some different kind of views or different kind of things given. So based on the configuration of your system, it might differ because the Python code is always considered the platform independent, but still you cannot say the 100%, right? Okay. So what will happen if I run this cell? So can I run my name in the computer language to understand? No, right? Everybody will understand, right? See, okay, I'll okay, I'm getting many questions. Okay, I'm getting many questions. Okay, I'll answer that. Okay. So Python is a programming language. Okay. Don't worry about this thing. The many confusion will be there. Python is a programming language. Okay, next to write code, we have environments, different environments. Now, why do environments are created? So that we can present it very well, or we can do some many connections with different components and all. Now, Jupyter Notebook is one such environment in Python. Okay, not only for Python, Jupyter can support many languages. It can support more than 30, exactly 40 languages. We can write down our code in Python also, our language code in Python, in Jupyter also. So this Jupyter will work. Definitely, I have installed Python. So I have installed the Jupyter Notebook. Rather installing these things, what I have done is that I just simply downloaded the Anaconda package. Anaconda package. Now, Anaconda package, what it will do, it will just simply give you some other options, other environments as well. So the item one major thing is we have to master in the language, irrespective of the environment. Whatever environments you are just simply using, you can use it because you never know. Maybe based on the client demand, you can be using different environments. Maybe you write Python code in a different environment. Maybe in an editor also. Maybe it's a normal editor also. Maybe you can also write Python code in a text file, and later you can save it a .py file will also work as a Python file. So there are many choices. There are many options. So environments will just simply bring you some totally added features, look well, because why I'm using Jupyter Notebook, and there is also one question that why I'm using Jupyter Notebook, or why people choose Jupyter Notebook. Because whenever we are creating a project based on ML or DL or not DL, maybe any other project like big like NLP projects and all. So what exactly we want? We want the full in and out, like total end-to-end solutions, right from the data, right from the pictures, graph. So this might be not look good in if you use any other environment than Jupyter. So that's why data scientists prefer Jupyter Notebook, because we can have in these cells, you can write down the code and you automatically get the answers. Okay, now I'll run this. I will. Okay, now everyone just look in the screen. I write down my name here. If I click on this run button here, so what will happen? I'll get an error. Yes, it's called an invalid syntax. Okay, don't worry. I'm not going to the Python language. I'm just simply showing the cells, the report, like how the cells are working. So if you run, just simply write down the code in one cell, run it, automatically get the results. Whether it's a correct one or the incorrect one, it automatically get the result just below the cell. So this is how this notebook works. Refresh, then run all cells. So this is our restart and run all cells. You can run all 100 cells. If you suppose you are writing a program for 100 cells, you can also run all the 100 cells automatically. Okay. So as it's look very simple. Everybody can relate, right? Okay. There are some questions I understood, but okay. But let's see. Let's start it simply. Okay, somebody has written a very good question. Oh, okay, does it mean that it will only understand coding? Yes, my friend. But okay, now yeah, somebody asked, does it understand only coding language? No, not partial. I can start. I can give my name as a heading also. Okay, I have. Oh, now this is also one interesting thing. Just simply see in this button here, code here. If you set it to code, then it will understand the code. That's why I'm getting an error. If I change it to some heading kind of thing, you might not get the error. So now my name is a header. That's all. Right? Yes. So now my name is a header. Okay, this is what this Jupyter Notebook is all about. You can do a lot of things, a lot of fun. It's just using this Jupyter Notebook with Python is a very. It's not the coding language is not nowadays difficult or not nowadays boring. It's for all now. So I have all this option here. I have shown here file, edit version, view, insert. There are many things are there, but we will slowly and steadily we will see insert cell above. If you want to insert new cell, if you want to cell below, kernel, interrupt the kernel. Now for example, a cell when it is running, you can also do some interrupt, restart. sometimes what happens, like you are writing a code in a particular cell, and you are actually getting a lot of time delay it is. Maybe it was something might be in a program will be slowed down because of some error maybe. So I can interact, we can restart, all these things we can do. So this is Jupyter notebook. I have written some name. I don't write any programming now. Let's go to the programming language. Okay. So shall we move on to that? Right. So one question, why we need number of cells which compiler can execute one cell at a time? So we can write many. See, for example, we can write all the different like lines of programs in one cell. It will still execute. But still, since we are given that option, that to run everything in one by one, very interesting look like. Like while we'll be doing this ML on algorithm, we'll be using algorithms on data. So I cannot write everything in one cell. So that is why number of cells are required. Because in one cell, maybe I will be doing some graphical display. In one cell, maybe I will be doing some different kind of statistical tests, or maybe in statistical formulations, descriptive summary of data. All these things I can do. Okay, let's come to this main point. Okay, let's come to the main point. Let's come to Python. Now the first question is, what is Python? So what is Python? Okay, now I have, so all of you can see, right? No issue, right? With sound, you can see the pages, right? Each cell acts as a different thread. So my God, we'll go back to this thread part. Okay, no issues. So each cell is nothing but just simply you can think about that each cell is just an, we can write down the codes and we can display our result. Whatever the getting we are getting, whatever things I need. Like for example, I want to write some programs. Inside this program, I have hundred of functions. Maybe I'm just simply saying about the advanced part. So each function I can write in one different cells. So this is how. Okay, let's go to this one. Now this is a very interesting question which is comes with what is Python. Now Python is an easy to learn, powerful programming language. Now I'm saying easy to learn. It actually means, you know, if you are learning other languages like Python and Java, sorry, C and Java, C++ or Java, it might need you 6 months to learn to get to master this Python. Sorry, but to master those languages. But whereas here you can 1 month or so because focusing it, you can also easy very short period of time you can learn and can have a command over this language because it's easy. Powerful programming language. Now this is what it is powerful because of the structure, because of the code readability, because of the clarity about the code, elegant coding, elegant language. It has an efficient high level data structures. Now this is something people will look for, and you'll also get to understand when we'll be discussing about the data structures. Now when I talk about data structure, I have to tell about few things. One, two, three, four. Now I need to now suppose for example you are writing a program. Okay, now for example those who are not familiar with language can also can relate. Okay, suppose I'm saying okay, we need to add two numbers. In one hand I have four numbers, on the other hand I have five numbers. I just instructed the computer to add those numbers one by one. Now I need to first of all I need to save those numbers in some variable. Now I need that was 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to save somewhere. No, I need to save some. Maybe the computer memory or maybe anywhere I need to save. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. Okay. So and so okay, I was in this. It has a high level structure. That means we can store. So now our problem is different. Now our course is different. Okay. So why it is different? Because we will be not dealing with some numbers. We will be not dealing with some numbers like 1, 2, 3. Because you know like how the course will go, how the flow will go. That we have to first store numbers, next store collection of numbers. Okay, just listen to this. The next is the collection of numbers. Next maybe the dimensions of numbers. By the dimension I mean data. Now how Python will store this one number, collection of numbers, maybe one dimension, two dimension, three dimension, and up to higher level of dimensions, how it will store. So that's why it's called high level stuff. Because of this, it is possible. Maybe you have heard about many things like numpys or pandas. That whenever we'll discuss those things, you'll get to understand about high level stuff. That how can I store different dimensions of things? Not only 1, 2, 3, 4. I can store up to dimensions. Okay. And simple but effective approach to object-oriented programming language. Now, whenever we say about languages, programming language, always talk about some paradigms, like procedural, object-oriented. But since we are in the real world, by using Python, we'll try to solve real-world problems. So, object-oriented programming is what we will do. Because that's why Python is an object-oriented language. Now, why object? What is object-oriented language? Because everything in Python is an object. And whatever the program will be writing, will be creating, will first try to create some object. Now, object has certain things. Procedural or a paradigm means what? Whenever we have all the simplification procedures like functions. So there is some languages which only based on like calling functions, like procedures, which you can say. Let's say, in simple way, I'm saying, let's say you want to solve some task, and for that you have to writing a very huge lines of codes. So we might not be interested in maybe writing that 100 lines of code. And apart from that, what we do is that we just simply create some functions and we call them to perform some task, repeated tasks. So those are generally called procedural. That means those based on calling every time calling functions, calling functions to perform tasks. But whereas in object-oriented language, we always try to create objects. And objects, so we will discuss in more details while discussing about the OOPS part, we call object-oriented programming language. So object is nothing but will contain data. We can hold data. It can has procedures like functions, which we call methods. So class based. But for real world problem solving, object-oriented languages are preferred. Okay. Next, Python's elegant syntax and dynamic typing. Now, this is also one interesting thing. So somebody is asking, will the share? Definitely, I'm going to share this thing. No issues. Next, okay, now, okay, just simply remember there are many questions will come. Okay, and I'll try to discuss those. Okay. Maybe I'll just simply go first point I have mentioned here is object oriented language. So Python is there. Okay, and there's a very interesting question asked in interview. Many times I came across this question, and might be you also having that. You have also will have the particular questions while going for job interview process. That what is so special about Python? Tell me some features about Python. You cannot always say that Python is simple, easy, and something, right? You have to tell about the facts. First one we already have seen, high level data structures. Now, if somebody asks you to elaborate, okay, just elaborate this high level data. I can tell that okay, by using Python, I can hold up data points, one value, two value, collection of values, dimension of values, multiple dimensions. I can hold a picture, right? I can open a picture in Python. Picture means a photo is always a 3D structure, right? So high level data structures, no more an issue, no more a problem for us. That's why Python is so special. Next one is that there's another interesting feature. It's called object oriented and procedure oriented. Now, procedure oriented is a gone now. Procedure oriented language is very old, classical. So real, but procedural means what? It's all about solving a problem through functions. Now, what is a function? Okay, I'll explain because a function is also a very interesting part in Python. So, in like while calling about function, but as of now, we can just simply understand about that a language which is always all about calling upon function to solve tasks. The procedural language like COBOL, C or something, but previously, it was used Fortran maybe Fortran as a procedural language. Next is what in object-oriented language like C++, Python, Java, they're all object-oriented languages. Because nowadays, procedural language is always to solve virtual world problems. But object-oriented programming this is a very huge thing. Object-oriented languages are used to solve real-world problems. Because real-world problem, solve a real-world problem, we need to create objects. And an object can hold data, can hold procedures like methods, functions. Like if I consider myself as an object, okay, my name is some information, my name, my maybe the height, my weight, my age, what I do, sing, I dance, I talk, they're all different functionalities. So the real world is always requires objects. So Python is an object-oriented language. Yes. So okay, I got one question. Can I say Python is simplified coding? Can use many data analytics web development? Yes, I am just simply going to that. Okay, I am going to that. Let me tell you some simple features. Okay, I believe in simplicity. Simple. Okay. Okay. Next, might be you have heard about something called elegant syntax and dynamic typing. Okay, elegant syntax. What I mean. Okay, I'll just simply let me explain you this line also. Elegant syntax. Now, what elegant syntax means? Because it doesn't require anything, like any comma, semicolon. It doesn't require like semicolon. If you go to Java language, you'll always get to this sort of thing, right? Semicolon, comma, or something, curly brackets. But it doesn't require anything. Just simply based on English language, simple English language. That's why I can again make this one easy to learn. Dynamic typing. Now, this is a very interesting for dynamic typing. That means we don't. As of now, I can only say that dynamic typing means you don't need to declare anything before doing any sort of program. Okay, let me show you one example regarding that. So I told you about the practical implementation, right? Okay, let me this. Okay, now I just simply go to the select this cell and just simply go to the cut button, that's scissor button. Okay, now people who are already familiar with languages like other languages, they can easily relate these things. Okay, I'm just simply adding two numbers here, 5 plus 6. I need okay, now I need the summation of 5 and 6. I just simply write 5 and 5 plus 6 and hit the run button. So I'm getting the answer as 11. Now, if you're writing the same program in Java or C++, you need to declare these things. Now, what is 5? I have to declare. What is 6? I have to declare. Okay, in one step, in one line, I have to declare what is 5 is an integer. Okay. Next line, I have to declare what is 6 is an integer again. Third line, I have to write the operator, which is a plus sign, positive sign. And then I have to execute the code, and then this will give us 11 as an answer. That means it requires 3-4 lines of like coding. But as of now, but here you can see just a single line, no issues at all. Just 5 plus 6 will give the answer. So that is why no declaration. That is called dynamic typing. Just remember this one for dynamically typed language. Python is a dynamically typed language where we don't need to declare anything prior to the writing the program. Writing the program, sorry. Operator I use as plus. That's why easy, right? Don't declare dynamically typed. Next. Together, okay, now typing together, which is interpreted nature, make it an ideal language. Okay, now there are a lot of things if we can relate are present inside this first paragraph. Okay, everything is included inside this paragraph. So first of all, okay, again remember, easy to learn, powerful, high level data structure. We can hold up data, different dimensions, object oriented language to solve real world problems. What is an object oriented programming language? Objects can contain data, can contain functions, methods. Okay. Next is the elegant syntax. We have seen that there is nothing required to any comma, semicolon after the line. Dynamically type, no need to declare anything before. I didn't declare anything. What is 5, what is 6? Automatically it understands, okay, this is a 5, this is a 6. At the runtime only, you'll understand and give the 11 rounds. Okay. Interpreted nature. Now again, there is again an interesting thing. Question comes: interpreter and compiler. Right? Now, interpreter means something. Okay, in simple way. Saying in simple way. Oh, somebody has. Somebody has written 5 plus A. So 5 plus A. So line by line compiling this. So line by line compilation is called the interpreter. So compiler means what? As a whole, no? After writing the after writing the full. So interpreter means whenever we write code, it executes line by line. Single line by line it will execute procedure. Sorry, what is called interpreter. Interpreter. Compiler means once everything is done, program is done, scan and then compile it is called compilation. Best example is what? So when we see a movie of different languages, and maybe it was dubbed in maybe Hindi or English. So that is a compilation, right? Whole movie is dubbed first, then we are hearing in our language. But as we know, when we go for some kind of parliamentary, while we're going for to learn some, when we're going to some different countries, maybe United Nations meetings, and maybe you have seen very familiar United Nations meeting. Many people from many countries comes, they might not understand English also. So interpreter is required, right? So that is the difference. Interpreter means line by line translate, line by line execution. I can't hear say French. Right? I go to like France or Paris, so I need an interpreter. Right? After every line, I need an explanation. I need a translation. I need a translator. That's the interpreter. Compiler means just like the movie, which is dubbed. Maybe it is dubbed in a different language, Korean language. I want to hear it in English. The full movie is dubbed. I don't need an interpreter. Right? I don't need a translator at that time. So that is the difference in interpreter and compiler. Yes. So now question comes. Okay, now I guess you understood about the compiler and interpreter difference, right? So interpreter means line by line execution. Same way in programming paradigm also we have an interpreter. Compiler means once everything is done, I will check scan for this results and all. Okay, now next thing is what is the why this Python is an interpreter or compiler? Now that's the question. Whether Python is an interpreter or a compiler. So we can say both. Answer is both. Python codes are first compiled and then interpreted. Now that is why some more specialty in Python. Maybe nobody will deny that because people say that Python is always compiled or maybe interpreted, but Python is both. Python codes are first converted to machine code, then it will go like executed one by one. So programming language. So again, simply I'm saying programming language is a language by which we can communicate with the computer. High level language means we'll write down the code in maybe in English and Compiler interpreter will come at that time to translate the code into machine code, whatever computer understands, zeros and ones, maybe bytes, right? Binary formats, it will convert. So we always try to ask computer to solve a problem, to make a computation. Okay, solving a problem will go to that analytics part that we will do later on. We will train. First of all, let's understand the language. Okay, first giving instruction to the computer. Okay, by using Python. Okay, give me the addition of 5 and 6. Okay, maybe next time I will ask the computer to predict something. Right? Predict me. Okay, give me the prediction for the next 6 months. What will the gold price will be? So that will the flow of study will go from one by one to the higher standard. So I guess like many things we have done inside one paragraph, right? Okay, now if somebody asks you about the Python, what is so special about Python? So the answer will be it has high level structures. It is an object oriented language, which is we used to create, is used to solve real world problems. Elegant syntaxes, dynamic typing, no declaration required before doing anything. Interpreted nature. First, that the code will be compiled, right? We'll give the instruction in English language. First, the code will be compiled, then will be interpreted. Then it is if Python is said first compiled then interpreted. Make it an ideal language for scripting. Now, again, how many will agree? So, okay, now let me do this one again. How many of you? Okay, next is language for scripting, right? And rapid application development in many areas on most platforms. Now, many cases Python is used nowadays for to solve this real-time applications development, rapid application development, many areas on most platforms. So it's making an ideal language. So this is what all these features will make Python a very ideal language for application development. Because if I have to develop an application, why should I go for a language which contains more than 200 lines of code? But the same thing, same program, I can write down 40, maybe 40 or 50 lines of code. Why should I choose different language, right, over Python? So that's why it's preferred. Okay, next is now who created Python? So Python was created by Guido van Rossum. So his first release came in 1991. Python came in 1991, you can say. Whereas Java came in 95. Python still exists before the Java, but a few community of people are only using those. But Python was first introduced in 1991 with the Van Rossum. So Python has design philosophy and emphasize code readability and syntax that allows programmers to express concept in fewer lines of code. Yes. So the stable release, okay, now whenever we first stable release for Python came into 2.7 point something. So 2.7 point something, 2.7 you can say 2.7. As I told, like Python has two different versions, like 2 and 3 versions. So the difference of version is just simply based on features and functions and maybe values. The stable release for Python 2.7 came in May 2018, very recently, and 3.7 came in June 2018. So, so being a fan of Monty Python's Flying Circus, so Rossum gave the name as Python. Okay, now maybe people are asking why it is given name as a snake or something. So he was. So okay, somebody is giving very interesting reply. Okay, now the being a fan of Monty Python's Flight Circus. So now this is how that is why this name is come as Python. Okay, let's come to some easy point. We have discussed many serious points. Now let's come to some Why Python? Why the name is given as Python? Because the person who invented or created, he was some fan of some circus. So the circus name was Monty Python's Flying Circus. So he gave the name as Python. Okay, now there are many things also comes. This name of different tools comes from a very funny stories actually. So to run Python code, okay, we need to 2.7, 3.6%. As I mentioned in the python.org site, okay, that's the very first one. Okay, I'm not talking about the Jupyter, very first one I'm saying. If you want to download the language Python, so we'll talk about Python only. I'm not coming to Jupyter now, only Python. So to run Python, we need to have only, you can go to this python.org site or you can directly download this 3.6 or 2.7 version. So it depends, maybe it varies now. But both versions are there, 2 and 3. But nowadays, companies who are using Python 2 versions has now moved to Python 3. So can be downloaded from python.org site and later can be installed in your computer. Python code can also be run on Jupyter Notebook. It can be downloaded from Anaconda. Jupyter Notebook app is a server client application. Okay, now there's also some like there's also something regarding Jupyter. It's a server client application that allows editing and running notebook document via a web browser. Like the Jupyter Notebook can be executed on a local desktop requiring no internet access, or can be installed on a remote server access through the internet. Now, good thing I mentioned here. Either you can go to python.org site, or if you just simply can download Python 2 but not 3 version. Now, why I'm mentioning about the 2 version, even though people are not saying about 2 version, because why I am saying about 2 version, because exist and huge companies are very using those Python 2 versions. And I'll also explain about what is the difference in 2 and 3 versions. That is something we should know. And why companies have to move from 2 to 3 versions. So to run Python code, we need to have this 2.7 or 3 version, whichever way you can download from python.org site and later can be installed on your computer. Codes can also run on Jupyter Notebook, which can be downloaded from Anaconda. Okay, now that's why I told you to download anaconda.org site. You'll have a various notebooks like Anaconda package. If you download it, you don't need to don't need to install anything separately, right? You can just simply go and enjoy with any of the environments. Okay, the Jupyter Notebook is something which is called server client application, allows editing running on notebook on the web browser. As you have already seen, if I open my web browser, I already doing some editing and creating on, which is called day one. The day one which I have created. So everything is running on desktop, right? So you can install Jupyter from anaconda.org site. Go and install Jupyter because of the simple, easy, like because of the, you can say, the look. Because if I have to tell, see, like directly, because the idea is very easy here. The idea to writing code is very cool here, and no internet access is required. You can directly open any time of code, anytime you can directly open in your browser, editing, creating, editing, everything you can do. You can store it, but whenever it requires to do something on a server based on server. So then at the time you have to connect with some server and then internet connection is required. Then maybe you can do doing all the creating, editing notebooks, reading data, doing analytics, everything is doing over in the server, connecting with the server. Okay, let's come to the comparison with other language. Okay, before that, just give a slight recap. Just remember about the language, specifically object oriented, procedure oriented. These few things are very easy. Easy, you can easily remember. Always remember, you'll get to know about the features. Object oriented, procedure oriented, interpreter, compiler, then dynamically typed, then you can say code readable code. It will consume lesser codes. That is also very interesting feature in Python. And then Guido van Rossum was created on 1991, and then we have these versions. Now let's see some comparison about C++. Okay, now C++ is always considered the basic language. There are many people who maybe like C languages. So that's why this paragraph is less. So C++ is an object-oriented programming language like Python, but the syntax of the code is quite complex. Okay, there is a first thing that means we don't like. We don't like mean complex, quite complex coding. If somebody like, okay, maybe somebody can like. Okay, I'll answer a few questions, whatever possible I can see. Okay, but don't worry. Maybe I cannot view all the questions you are asking. Okay, now C++ is an again object-oriented language. So the syntax is quite complex because it requires a lot of comma, semicolon. Also, C++ is a platform dependent. C++ is a platform dependent. Again, the difference between Python and C. Like C++. C++ is a platform dependent. The same based on configuration, maybe some slight changes will be there, but same code will run on across many platforms, across many OS. As you already seen, while downloading it, asking me to download Windows, whether you want to download for Windows, Linux, iOS, so platform independent. Again, interesting feature. Again, difference. C++, that is why the same code can run in the same with different operating system, different PCs. Python code is often 5 to 10 times shorter than equivalent C++ code. That means, so we have platform independent. Python is platform independent. Same code can run on any OS, any PCs. But PCs, I have to say that based on configuration, might be slight changes will be there, but almost same. Next is it contain lesser number of codes than Python, C++. C++ might gonna take let's say if a same program if you're writing in C++, the same program for writing in Python will take lesser number of lines. So whereas again, now this is something I have been like evidence that Python program can finish in 2 months. Okay, but C++ programmers can complete in a year. Okay, now because there are complexities there, because there are a lot of concepts which is not in Python. Simply you can see feel the difference when we'll be discussing about the next part or next maybe upcoming sessions. We'll discuss about few things. So you can easily understand that why it is different from this C++ language because there are some concepts in C++ you will not find in Python. Maybe one of them I can give a hint about the memory part. The Python you don't think about memory. User should not have to think about memory consumption. Automatic process. Okay, right? People who are maybe have used language before or C language before can understand what is the importance of this memory consumption. So in Python, we don't even think about what is the memory. We're just simply storing values and all. We don't even think about what memory consumption, how this memory will be given to it, how this memory will be given to a particular variable, how much memory to store, what is the static, dynamic. Okay, there are many things are there. But as of now, I can say some features are very easy in Python rather than having them in C++. So okay, last line is Python shines as a glue language used to combine components to okay. This is also Python is heavy. Python is always a glue language means it can connect different components. You can use we used to combine components on C++ also. Python was always considered a glue language. In Python, we can also combine components of C++. Some component which is maybe written in C++, we can also connect them with Python. So that means you might have an idea that while creating a rapid applications like like real-time applications or maybe some advanced applications. Maybe C++ was written there. To solve some high-level task, Python can be used because both can be used as a glue language, right? Core Python can be used as a glue language. So nowadays, we cannot say that we can only Python can be used that to solve all the tasks. Python can be used in the upper, always has an upper hand because it has a lot of things like, a lot of things can be performed in Python. People choose to use Python for that. But we can combine components with C++ also. So the comparison here comes here. That one first comparison is that complexity of the code. Next is the platform independent. Remember these points. This is very like helpful. Helpful. Platform independent. Codes are shorter, but can be used as a glue language. Both can be combined to develop applications. Yes. Okay. So so far, okay, right? Okay, you're getting the point, right? I need confirmation. So all of you, I guess we are on the same page. Yes. Okay, only two. Yes. Okay. So I guess these are some differences between the languages. Okay, there are because we see. I just simply use these things in one like paragraph. There are many features are there, but I use them in a very different way to combine everything in one paragraph and explain this thing. Because as we said, right, we will be discussing more practical implementation than those, right? Theory is a theoretical knowledge. Maybe only for one or two classes I'll discuss about these things. Maybe once we know about what is Python, then we can proceed and write down codes, right? And I guess that will be very helpful for all of us. So today we'll discuss about some key features in Python. So some of the features I'm mentioning here, comparing with language. Now let's come to the Java. Now let's try to compare between Java and Python. Java and Python. Now we have seen like C++ with Python. We have seen Python has some upper hand about C++ language, but can be used. Both can be combined. Both can be combined to develop application. Similarly, same way, Java can be also combined with Python because since Java came in around 95, everything is people are the companies organizations start using Java. Android may be written on completely based depend upon Java's language. There are many applications developed in Java. But still, Python is coming now in the very recent years. Python is leading. But still, we should know about the like, what is the difference here? Who has the upper hand, or what kind of difference we can create from these things? The Python programs, first things, are generally expected to run slower. Now that is what Java has having the upper hand. The Python codes will run a bit slower. Okay, a bit slower. So Java is a quick. So that's why you can say what is the reason also I'm saying. But Java is we contain like but Python programs are typically 3 to 5 times shorter than equal Java program. And now Python is always has less number of coding than Java also. Python will take less coding. Python will take less number of codes than Java. But Java programs will run faster. Why? Why so? So let me go back to this again day one page. Now you can see this Python program. The same if I write some program like a is equal to 5 and let's say b is equal to 6. I will have to write something. Okay, don't worry about this language or this. Don't worry about what I'm writing, but I'm just simply giving an example of it. So a is equal to 5, b is equal to 6. Print a plus b. Okay, to run a particular cell, you can just simply click on run button, or also you can do one more shortcut. You can just simply write control enter, press control enter or shift enter. Now what is control enter will do? Okay, now this is one advantage features of this Jupyter notebook. Okay, now I'm on this line. If I just simply click on control enter button, this line will be executed. Okay, this line will be executed, right? A is equal to 5, print A plus B. But if I instead of control enter, okay, you can also run button. You can also click on the run button. You can also press control enter or shift enter. Shift enter will run the cell and also create a new cell. See, new cell is created. So three ways you can use. Either you can click on any cell and click on the run button, or you can just simply control enter and shift enter. Now, if I'm writing this same program in Python and the same program in Java, okay, I'm not having a Java language. I'm not that much expert in Java, but still, A is equal to, say, okay, now in Java, what I have to write is that I have to declare. The only difference is there. I have to declare integer 5. 5 is an integer. B is equal to, I have to again define something like integer something. Now the integer 6 maybe, then I have to write down something A plus B. Okay, now the difference between this Python and Java is in Python we don't declare what is 5, and in Java we have to declare what is 5. So since the declaration is already happened, okay, I'm just simply try to write some type of coding. Let us consider this thing in I'm writing the line number 5 I'm writing in Java. Okay, just consider. Okay, let us consider. So how much numbers I've changed. Okay, so I getting my point, right? So what I'm saying is the difference between Java and this Python. So I'm writing two sets of codes. The first number, line number 4, or this one. This is what I am just simply writing in Python. This is this style of writing Python. That you don't need any declaration. The 5 just 5 will understand. Just 6 will understand. But where it will understand? At the runtime. This time when we'll be writing print A plus B. Because while declare we don't declare, but while writing A5 B6 it will not actually what happens, it not declaring anything, so not understanding anything at the time of running this A plus B, then it will understand and whether this addition is authenticate or not. At the runtime only to understand. But in case of Java, let's come to the next one. In Java we declare everything at the beginning. So that is this time difference. This Java program will run a bit faster because everything is declared. So there is no time it will take while the runtime while running this printing something. But whereas in Python, don't declare anything at the declare in the beginning. So while the runtime, it will understand that okay, this is 5. A is a 5, is an integer. Because of that, the time difference is there. So this time difference makes this Python, which is run a bit slower than Java, because of the declaration only. One hand Python is dynamically typed. You don't declare anything. But if you don't declare anything, then how it will understand that it's an integer? So at the runtime only, right? While adding the numbers, so are you getting my point? While adding the numbers, okay, you say that okay, I'm not declaring anything here. How does it understand it's an integer or not? Okay, so that is why while printing something, that means so at the time where actually we are trying to execute the code at the execution time, the run time, some seconds will take more in Python. Whereas in Java, it's automatically defined. Everything is defined. We have to define initially, so we don't have to do anything. Just simply runtime will just simply open this A plus B and will give you the answer. But whereas Python is on only the difference here in Python that Python will take less number of codes again, and Python is, so the same example I have mentioned here, A and find. For example, when evaluating expression A plus B, it first inspect the objects A and B, find out their type, which is not known at the compile type. So that is in Python. So when you're evaluating something like A plus B, A is a number, B is a number. But when doing some positive A plus B, it must first inspect the objects A, B to find out their type. At the compilation time, it is not. So that is why the runtime, like for example, when it then invokes the appropriate addition operation, which may be overloaded user-defined methods. Java, on the other hand, can perform efficient integer or floating point addition, but it requires variable declaration for AB and does not allow overloading of the plus operator for instances of user-defined classes. So because of these two things, Java program is faster. But again, Python can also be used as a glue language, with Java is better characterized as low-level implementation language. In fact, the two languages together make an excellent combination. Components can be developed in Java and later can be combined to form application in Python. We know Pythons are used for solving a huge level task like artificial intelligence, machine learning, many analytics, performance analytics. So that is why we don't think much about the lower level implementation, right? That's why we are not programmers, right? We always not write down programs. We have to solve problems, right? We have a problem statement, we have to solve it. So we will be not, we might be focused on not of the same. Okay, now. So I prefer you to write down the notes, no problem. If you find anything, so see, for example, if you find anything like anything, something which is maybe not known to you, right? Maybe something you find it good, you can also note down these things. But anyways, I will share this file, no problem. We'll definitely for your record, it will be there. Okay, I was in this. Okay, this is what glue language, right? Again. So what I'm saying is that in Python, we'll be doing some more complicated tasks. For lower level implementation, we'll be using Java. So the two combination, the two make a deadly combination for application development. Components can be developed in Java and combined to form application in Python. Python can also be used to prototype components until their design can be hardened in Java implementation. Okay, now see, sometimes these components, right? Components means while making application, right? We always try to make applications by using some different software coding, programming, and then maybe some hardware, right? Maybe suppose you are making something, kind of say detector, maybe say image detector, something like. So what I can do is that we can do some all sort of applications, machine learning, artificial intelligence. But again, the lower level implementation comes, right? We have to making hardware make sense, right? We have to make some chip kind of chip where we can embed our code. Okay, people from embedding system, the electronic, they can relate. I have to embed the code, right, so that the code will work. So lower level implementation is always. I can make a huge applications. So that is why combination should be always equal to develop applications. So that's why whenever we are working, so definitely people have to work as a team. So this is how these two languages are different from Python. Python is different from these two languages. What is the first language? C language. Okay, this is the most popular language. I'm just making comparison. Maybe other languages cannot be compared like Ruby and other R languages. R is also a language which is used for more of statistical purposes. Are also same as Python. So like different languages have different sort of things. But Python, C++, Java are all object-oriented languages. The difference is that the code number of lines of code. Python always takes lesser code than these two languages. Okay, C++ is a different language because it is always it always a complex type of coding. Even Java also have some complexity in coding. So Java has this particular advantage that it will run faster than the like corresponding Python code. C++ on one hand they have 5 to 10 times shorter. Python codes are shorter than this. But Python can be shines as a glue language with both. It can connect with components with both the languages. Okay. So that means the language which we'll be discussing has a lot of features. Can be it is object oriented, it will be both compiled, interpreted. It is a high level and data structures. It can be used for scripting also. Right? Scripting. Okay, now there is also one difference between a scripting and a programming. Like scripting requires what? Programming requires compilation. The scripting doesn't require, right? So there are many comparisons we can make. But is busy in sharing numbers. Let's so another important part, that libraries. So all of you, okay, right? So far, okay, you can make this sign also. Okay, as of now, we have discussed about some technical things. Okay, so let's get into more technical. Okay, like another thing, which is why Python is preferred, is called library. In the library, what is a library? Okay, let's say, so there might be functions. There might be some functions. Now, why? Okay, now suppose you are writing a very huge program. Suppose you're writing a programming for a suppose let's say for a gaming application, a huge lines of codes you're writing. So what exactly you'll do? You'll be interested in writing a huge number of code, or because the more huge will be the code, the more lengthy will be the code, it will bring more errors, right? Agree? You're writing some code for a program, maybe a huge program you're writing down, like non-stop you're writing down, so it will bring a lot of errors. So instead of that, what we will do is that we will simply break down our code into small parts, right? Let's say you're creating a gaming application and you are just simply creating a small blocks of, not writing everything in one application, not writing everything in one file, or maybe say in one go, in one shot. Maybe what you are doing is that you're just simply breaking down into blocks of codes. What is a block of code? Maybe function, right? This block of code may be function. So once it is done, we can call them up whenever it is required. The function concept comes like that only. So it is better to break down the code into small block of blocks. Those are called functions. Now, whenever those functions we combine, when we combine all the blocks, so that means what it is now. It is better to write down a code and all the functions from a different blocks, right? So what it will do that instead of writing everything in one go in one page, what we'll do that we'll divide everything into small functions and put them in different maybe pages, or maybe say everything in one page, and that page I'm calling them as package. I'm writing code for a gaming application, even though I'm not a programmer gaming, but still let us consider I'm writing from a gaming application. And what I have done is that I am just simply separated each small block of code. Let's say one block of code is for the sound, one is for graphics, one is for display something, one is for moving, one is moving right, up, down. So everything. Okay, I'm not sharing any screen. Okay, let me go back. I'm just simply saying I did. Okay, I'm just simply on this page. Okay, I'm just simply on this page. So instead of writing all huge program in one file, what we do is that we just simply separate them into small blocks, and each and every block we consider into one file. That means in one file, I will simply try to write down the code. Another file, I will store all the small blocks of code, that is the functions. Let's say this is called package. Let's say you are creating a gaming application, so you have a package. In that you have a package. In that package, you have all the functions regarding the sounds, graphics, move up and down, everything. Now let us consider you are creating some more big applications, not only gaming, a huge program, huge something you are doing. So you have to again break down everything. Let's say you're creating some mobile application which contain gaming, which contain everything. So what we'll do is that we will also break down our code into small packages. This like one is for gaming package, one is for this photo package, one is for different package. Now when we consider everything in one, every package is into one big file, we call them as a library. The libraries are nothing but consist of huge functionalities, can be which can be solving many problems, big tasks. That's why Python is famous for this libraries, because if we have these libraries, we can actually, instead of writing a huge amount of code, we can actually restrict our code into small, so that we don't have to write every time a huge number of codes. So this is why it is libraries. So the libraries we will discuss, like each and single libraries we have to discuss one at a time. Because Python's large. Okay, now just see the number here. How many packages are there? 117,000, and that too as of 2017. So Python contains this many packages. Now, what is the package? Package contains this functions, block of codes, which can be called upon to solve some task very easily. So with the practical details, maybe when we'll be discussing about how to create some kind of packages, or how to create some kind of saving a file. How can we call them? That is something very interesting about Python. So libraries, packages. So there you can see up to 2017, we have more than 117,000, which is now is coming maybe next. The number is increasing actually. So it contains what wide range of functionality. Now just simply understand the functionality. This will create a lot of functionality. That means we don't have to every time write down program, write down many programs. So instead of that, you can use libraries, because libraries will give you the wide range of functionalities to deal with the problem, how to solve it. So one such library is there. Now, what these libraries are used for? First, you can say graphical user interface. Now, if you are interested in designing graphical interfaces, Python can also give you some libraries like Tkinter. That many are there. Web frameworks. If you have to create some website or web applications, you can also Python will also give you the libraries for that. Like Django and Flask, these are libraries that are used for developing web frameworks. Many interesting things are there. Which now, when we'll do these things, no, when we'll try to implement these things practically, you'll see that so easy, because we will be using the functionalities. Okay, so web frameworks, multimedia databases. Now see this database also, we have different databases are connect. We can connect. Okay, now database we mean what, where, like SQL database or any other databases. But Python has library for that. if you are trying to connect a SQL database, MySQL database with Python, you just simply just simply install, just simply call the library called MySQL connector, and you are good to go. You can just simply connect with the connect with the SQL database, and you can start writing the code and start fetching the codes from in Python. So we'll see this in practical implementation. Then definitely now maybe you're not accepting this, okay? But I'm saying don't worry, you'll find easier at the time when we do these things practically. Test frameworks, web scraping, documentation, system administration, scientific computing. Now for example, huge scientific calculations, SciPy. Some libraries are called SciPy for scientific Python, NumPy for numeric Python, image processing, which is a new trending thing nowadays in OpenCV. OpenCV is a huge library used in all the real-time applications for image processing, kind of to solve image processing tasks. So what exactly these libraries is just simply consider those huge blocks of functions can be called to perform tasks. Let's say, for example, if I download some image and I want to convert the image into a grayscale image, or convert the image into a negative photo, or let's say whatever black and white image. A simple application, I'm saying. Just simply download an image. Okay, download the image. You just simply read in Jupyter Notebook. I can simply read in Jupyter Notebook, and then I can convert. I do some image processing. Say, then what we'll do? I just simply call the library and I use the functionality of the libraries to convert into say black and white. Let's say to do some other task. Simple things. So these libraries will give you a huge number, wide range of functionalities to perform your tasks. So like say different tasks like creating interfaces, frameworks, web applications, databases, scraping, scientific computing, text processing, image processing, whatnot. I just listed a few. Next, for this library, say something is very something that is we have to do one for what I can say. This library is something that will bring you a lot of functionalities to perform your task. So that means if you're writing, for example, if somebody is feeling like okay, I'm new to language, how can I solve these things? How can I write programs and all these things? So the answer is here is that we while using Python, we need to understand about how this function works, how this functionality works. I can create my own functionalities. I can create my own package. If I have certain new ideas and I don't need to use the libraries. I don't need to use any library. I have a problem statement which I have to solve it without using anything. So I just simply have to use Python. So if you have a good understanding about Python, you can create those functions. From those functions, you can create those packages. Those packages can be called upon. You can actually create upon your own things like own packages library, so that can be used for to solve your problems. But if you want to solve some other task, like let's say I'm saying if you have given a task to create a web application, why not to use Python and it's like this. Instead rather than going some complicated HTML or something like. Even though creating web application requires HTML, CSS, very need to understand very well. But even though without having proper knowledge, also by using Python you can solve. So that is the beauty of using this language. The library contains wide range of functionality, can be saved and can be called upon at any point of time, and can be installed. So let's see advantages of the Python we have already seen, but let's see some of the written advantages. So Python programs can run on any OS. It's usually just a matter of copying script code between machines. Okay. So it's just simply a matter of copying code within machines. Okay. Like it's a very rapid application development we already seen. Large collection. Okay, now this see the look up on the third point. Python comes with large collection of pre-built portable functionality known as standard library. So the library, again, I'm saying here is the largest you can say large collection of pre-built and portable functionality. Okay. So this is what. Next is what Python is an expressive language. The code in Python is clear to read and write. Okay, we have seen. Next is what free and open source. Now you can see you don't need to pay anything, even though the license versions all still exist, but you can also have it for free. So Python is both dynamically and strongly typed. Okay, now there is one more difference. You can see dynamically typed and strongly typed. Now, as we know, the dynamically typed means what? Dynamically typed things we have already seen. Dynamically typed means that we don't have to declare anything. But strongly typed means what? Strongly typed means variable does not change. The interpreter keeps takes of all variables. Okay, that means type of a variable. Okay, now maybe the next class we'll be discussing about the variables part. At that time, I'll get back to this particular note, like how the variable does not change. The interpreter keeps track of all the variables. In simple words, strongly typed means the type of variable does not change. The interpreter keeps track of all the variables. The interpreter will be always present to track your variable, track your values. Maybe suppose we have written somewhere a equal to 5. Now maybe you have written just called upon the a after 10-20 lines of code. So now, for example, you're writing something. Maybe you're writing some program, and you have saved somewhere a is equal to 5. Okay, a is equal to 5. Now, and suppose you are using a again after many lines of code. So the value doesn't change. The value of a will remain the same. That means the interpreter is just simply keeping the tracking the variable. Tracking the variable. So, okay, somebody is asking about it. So, okay, now this is the first session. So I have to discuss about the features of Python, right? So maybe later on next class onwards, I'll go back to this theoretical, like practical part, okay? Because I have to tell you more about Python, because this knowledge will help. So these things we should dynamically, like strongly type. Okay, let's come to this syntax part. So Python is meant to be easily readable language. Its formatting is visually uncluttered. English keywords, where other languages use punctuation. So that's the only thing I said. So punctuation mark is not there in Python. Single, okay, now commenting. Okay, let's go back to some practicals now. Let's go back to the syntax. As I mentioned about the syntax. So let's go back to the syntax. Let's go back to the Jupyter file again. So I'm going to day one again. I just simply, okay, now if you don't want anything, just simply cut down from here. And now what should I write? And some syntax is right. Now when you're writing some syntax like number like 5, Python reads right. Next, well, let's say I'll try to write some text. So definitely it's giving an error, right? Because the text are not understood by the interpreter until and unless, because that's a data structure. We will go later on. So let's say first write some number application. Let's say I'm writing a is equal to 5, then b is equal to 6. So I'm just writing a simple program. A is equal to 5, b is equal to 6, and I'm writing some print statements. I need to print something. A plus B. Okay, now this is a basic kind of coding everybody should understand. A is equal to 5, so A has given a value of 5, B has given a value of 6. Whether these things are okay, when we'll be understanding what is A and B, then we'll have a clear picture about the language or about any other language. So what is A and B? A and B are called, no, what is A and B? Okay, now somebody said integer. Now what is A and B? Okay, some said variables. Okay, yes, variable you can say. But later I will tell. Later I will say this in a different way, differently. A and B are objects. In real world, no, the variable can be used here, right? In real time, what I will say that A and B are objects which has some integer class. People who are programmer can relate, but no. But anyways, we have new people who has maybe starting the programming for the first time. As I was saying, A has some numbers given to A. So A is first is a 5 is stored in A, 6 is stored in B, and I'm printing A plus B. Next, I am writing some more print. A minus B. So I'm writing everything in one line. So print A into B. So I'm writing some numeric calculations. Print. Some color also you can see here. Coloring differences there. So when I'm writing something coming in green color, so don't worry. This is just an this is how this notebook works. If I write all these things, so I'm getting some answers, right? I'm getting the answer in the, that is why the Jupyter notebook is very useful. See, writing code in one line, and we're getting the answer in the next line. This is how cool about this notebook. A equal to 5, B equal to, I'm writing something, I'm writing something here, or so print is nothing but some function I'm saying, some function I'm using. So I want to print something. I want to print A plus B. I want to print A minus B. Whether if you write A, whether if you write A plus B, still it will work, right? A plus B. Okay, still it will work, it will give us 11. But I have written something called print. Okay, print me this value one by one. So now let's come to the first syntaxes. Okay. So this is the first syntax. First syntax is Python is meant to be easily readable language. Its formatting is visually uncluttered. It is often used as a English keywords, where other languages use punctuation. There is no punctuation in, no curly brackets in, semicolon after statements are optional. Next, commenting in Python. Commenting means we can comment single line comment and paragraph comment. Now, comment begins with a simple hash and continues until the end of the line. Now, for example, in this particular print statement, you don't want to print as say A into B. Suppose you don't want a product. So what you can do is, or let's say I am just using the value here. Okay, I'm giving some information. I'm giving the value of V is equal to 0. Okay, let's try to do in an innovative way. Okay, now A equal to 5, B I have just put as 0. Okay, now when we run these things, A plus B will execute, right? A minus B will execute. A into B will also execute. But do you think A divide B will work? Yes, right. Okay. Why? Because okay, now these are some thinking in a different way. Thinking in a way, I'm thinking a different way. Okay, I put a value as 0. Okay, normally everybody does it A5, B6. Okay, why to use always the same thing, right? I put A equal to 5, B is equal to 0. A plus B, A minus B, A into B. Everything will work except the last one, right? Because it's a division. Now everything will working, but the last one is not working. So I'm getting an error. So in this case, I only don't want to print the last part. So what I can do is that this is how this commenting works. Suppose you don't want to print a particular line, you can comment begins with a hash symbol and continues until the line ends. So maybe to execute this program, I will put something called hash before the line. Put a hash symbol here and again try to print. So that means what? Remaining programs are executing whether the last one is commented. So single line comment, we can write multiple line comments. We can also use paragraph commenting. Now, for example, instead of using hash, single line hash is used for single line comment. If I give hash in 2 lines, both the lines will be commented before the line. Okay, both the lines will be commented. So I'm getting the answer as a plus b and a minus. Now, for example, you don't want to print all instead of commenting each line by line. What we can do is that we can comment multiple lines of code. Maybe for multiple commenting, we can also use something like this. So you can see this is something red color. So that means you can comment multiple lines by using, or paragraph commenting can be used by using triple quote. So triple quotes, we use triple quotes for paragraph comment. So for single line commenting, we can use called hash. Okay. Okay, just give me this detail only. Okay. So commenting. So just remember, for single line you can comment, single line commenting you can use hash. For multiple line comment you can use triple quote. Just from the beginning of the line you start, and the lines which you want to mute or which you want to comment, just simply put 3 quotes at the end of the line. So next is, okay, I have only a few things left. Okay. Some of the differences between Python 2 and Python 3. So now I said about Python 2 version, and now let's see